Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back, everyone. We're starting it off with Dixie on a weekly time frame. Just wanted to point out a quick few things that today is the weekly close. Dixie is in a very bullish engulfing stance. We still have some room for the upside. We have about 11 more hours till the day closes. I'm assuming we will be tapping into that 103 and closing above 103 this week. And I'm going to be looking for possible continuation into the 21 EMA at 103.60 into the next week. And that would mean continuation if the inverse relationship holds for Bitcoin and Dixie, downside for Bitcoin and ETH to continue. So keep in mind that weekly is looking good for today to continue into next week upside. If you go to your daily over here, try to make this as quick as possible. If you go to your daily here, you still have some space into the 103 available. You are about to be in the bullish control zone if we close like this today. And if we do, then you should be expecting continuation into next week for that upside tap into that 103.60 till, close to 104 basically. So just be aware of that into next week if we close like this. I do also want you guys to be aware that we had a nice wick gap below us that I don't usually like to consider wicks as filled, but the potential of retesting this wick is there next week after we come into that 104. If we want to reject and find some support at 101 before continuing back up, is possibility is there. I don't want to see the cross of 102 to the downside. The 21 EMA being averted from the cross down here and curving up is very, very good sign for continuation to the upside. As we get up into that 103.50 area, the red EMA will come and cross up as well. It's a little bit of a laggard. So just be aware that the EMAs are showing you that buyers are here. There is strength. And as the EMAs are curving to the upside, it's showing you that the support is building below us. So even if a fast move down comes, you will use these as your first levels of support. All right, so that's all gone and done. Let's go now look at bad boy Bitcoin. So as Dixie this week decided to give you a nice little upside a surprise, what did Bitcoin do this week? And can we say the inverse relationship is back or not? Well, here we go to Bitcoin on a weekly time frame. Be gentle on my computer. And here we go. Here is Bitcoin on a weekly time frame. As you can see, we did get a little bit of a pullback, but in my opinion, this is kind of a bullish stance. You are using the support, like I said, on Dixie perfectly here on a weekly time frame, and you're getting a buyback up very, very strong with volume. Didn't even test into the RSI. So this is a very healthy buyback. Keep in mind that if Dixie does continue next week to the upside, this will be your local high for that pushback down into the test of support of like, I don't want to give you guys very, very low numbers, but let's just say like 40K to 38.5 as an area for us to test into next week to prove that support is there. And if we lose that level and come to 36 and under, then we can look for a deeper retrace, possibly into 30-ish, 32K-ish. So just be aware that those levels seem very drastic, unrealistic, but those are logical levels to be aware of. For the upside, if we do continue, I will be looking for us to come test into that 48,000 level, and it's going to be around 48,300. And once that level is broken, we can look for continuation into the higher level of around 52,200. So 48, that's like about a $4,000 pop after that resistance is taken out here at 48.3. What I will do, I am going to leave this alert here so that way we have a little bit of a heads up that alert wants to place. There. Good. Okay. Doesn't want to work, but if you guys want to do it on yourself, go ahead. It's because I'm recording. The computer is going to lag itself to death. Going to the daily time frame, if this can zoom on up. Weekly, you have room for the upside. We have about 2 days to close, which is Sunday. You can expect that grab to the top side into that weekly close if we're going to get it, and then a pivot from there into a next week. If Dixie has this continuation, we would be putting in our weekly local high and looking for a retrace into next week into the support zones if everything goes to our plan. Here is Bitcoin on a daily time frame. As you can see, we are just consolidating in a triangle pattern over here, flagging pattern. If we can hold this level of support here at 43K, that would be fantastic. If we get a 4-hour open and close underneath 43K, you should be looking for support here at around 40,000. And that's kind of the wick that you got yesterday. And you should be ready for these little wicks to support. That's kind of going to happen to wash out over leveraged traders. But the good thing is that once the wick comes, and if you don't have a body close there, then more than likely you're coming right back above the 21 EMA and using that as support to grind. Now, as you see this red EMA and the 21 EMA kissing each other, this is showing you weakness from the buyers. If that price action does come and close underneath the 21 EMA, you should be looking for a deeper dive into the retracement. Uh, Probably the liquidity on this EMA is probably gone. So worst case scenario, you're coming down to like 37.8. But I'm not saying that that's going to happen anytime soon. I'm saying just be aware that that possibility is there, and it's a great buying opportunity. If you look left, you have a lot of support there. So a wick into that level and a wick out would make sense. So just be prepared and ready for that if that possibility comes. And I'll tell you right now that we're getting close to something like that occurring as we're kissing these EMAs. You see these EMAs didn't kiss and you got that impulse? This EMA is going to probably cross. And if that crosses, you're going to start seeing a little bit of a deeper retrace in a flagging fashion before an upside pop out. So be aware of that moving forward. Um, yeah, let's go now weekly to ETH. And as you guys can see, I've turned off my fibs and all other drawings. I just have the EMAs going on right now just to keep things simple, like back in the old days. And then I will add fibs and stuff on for you to have confluence with the EMAs, so that way you can have much more precise entries and exits if you're going to ladder in and out. Here's ETH on a weekly time frame, much weaker than Bitcoin, already actually showing you that, hey, we're still doing that retest into the cross. If this week closes underneath 21,000, sorry, 2180, I would have concern for us to going testing into the 2000 even. Um, until that happens, I will just wait for this weekly close. If weekly closes above that 2180, next week I'll look for us to grind into this level and potentially look for an upside test. But the second we have a 4-hour opening close underneath 2180, I'll be looking for us to test into that 2000 level. If 2000 holds for support after a daily close, then we can look for a retrace into that 2180 and try to reclaim it. But between 2000 and 2180, I wouldn't be surprised if we have to do a straddle and just range in between until we take liquidity from downside and then break up to the upside in a chopping fashion. Like, let me see if my drawings are here real quick. I can, just forget it. I'll leave it for the members. Um, that's basically all I have to say for weekly. Let's go to the daily. And then breaking up to the top side on ETH, I'll be looking at around 2600. If we do get that 4-hour opening close above our resistance, which is around 2400, I'd be looking for 2600. Looking at the daily time frame, you can see we have kind of put in a local high. We're trying to do this little head and shoulder nonsense. We just had the measured move of that head and shoulder, and you had a little buy up. This is a very dead cat bounce underneath the 21 EMA, and you're actually rejecting off that 21 EMA. Remember how I told you on Bitcoin when the EMAs kiss, you get that one impulse out, which was a fake out. The second kiss is probably not going to be a fake out, and this time you're already underneath the EMAs and trying to do that kiss. So more than likely, you're going to get a nice little push into like a little bit deeper of a retracement. I would keep my eye out for the wick and using this 2080 as the next support level. And as long as you don't have a 4-hour open and close underneath 2080, I would look for a slow grind of support going sideways and then back up to test into the resistance. If you get the 4-hour open and close underneath 2180, I would be looking at 1900 as my level of support. And anything open and close underneath 1900, we could be looking for much lower levels, as I said, on the higher weekly time frame. Aside from that, guys, if you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comment section below. If you're interested in trading with me live, feel free to join me on the Discord server. The link to the server is in the description of this video below, alongside all the other affiliate services that I use and recommend that helps this channel grow. So thank you so much for your love and support. Aside from that, if you guys have any other questions or concerns, just DM me on the Discord, or feel free to join me live and ask me questions live. I will respond, within 15-30 minutes probably. And yeah, hope to see you in the next one. So if you haven't joined the YouTube channel, feel free to like, subscribe, press the bell button for notifications.